Okay, guys. I think this is the best it's going to get today. Huh? I'm sick of this weather. I am tired of the cold. It's bad. Cold is bad. We're at the end of April, and we're supposed to be going into prom season and spring. I'm telling you, we're not going to get spring. We're going to go straight into summer. Just remember that. Straight into summer. So, I haven't been on here. I've been busy downloading. I don't have the time that most of these YouTubers do to sit and do a video every 2 or 3 days and repeat the same information over and over what they've told you a week ago. I only come on here when I think you need new information that I have to share to you. So there are stages where I get downloads. And one of the stages is very hard to get me information because they usually don't come in that way with me unless they're very persistent or it's very important. So I was sleeping in a very deep sleep, which is hard for me to get to. And they gave me this download. And sometimes, because in the dream, you have to recognize that you're in a dimension of information and that most of the information is not about you. It's about relaying the information they're giving you and describing it to the T and not being emotionally attached to it. So you can give the information accurately. So I don't look for this stuff. I just let it present. So I'm having a bad hair day today. It's just stringy. Anyway, so I got this down low, and which something I think no one's thought about. I wasn't even thinking about it, but it makes sense. So when this happens, I have to draw things very, very fast. Like I had to draw these items and place very, very fast. It's because the download comes in at a very fast pace and I want to get all the details. So they're talking about the seers, the healers, the shamans, the prophets that have been seated here, seated before they were even in their bodies, okay? Chosen before that. So, the first thing they told me is, Jen, we know exact location where all of you are right now. We're taking count of all of you. And they said, not all of you made it, but we got all of you. We know exactly where you are. And we have always known exactly where you are at. Which makes a lot of sense in my life, because I've had incidents that I cannot figure out how I got out of, but I did. So it totally makes sense. So sometimes in that state of dreams, they can poke fun at you or... But anyway, they showed me a drone that looked like, an old drone. It was being funny. And they're like, look above. And when I looked above, I saw all the sky lit up with all of them everywhere. So they're not really drones. They're more than a drone. So this is attached to your soul. This is attached to your own specific DNA frequency. So I always was wondering how that was tracked, how that was monitored, how they could find us very quickly, and it's not a technical situation. It is more of a spiritual, intuitive frequency. But there are these devices, just like kind of like a quantum system conscience that's connected to you. It's always been there. It's always been there. As that happened, they were showing me this, and they're like, Jen, the old contracts. What do you mean old? The old contracts. All that you were presented with contracts. All of you. Okay. Those are done. I was like, what? They're done. They're basically for the 3D. It was only for that 3D understanding. 3D interpretation. 3D environment to get us to a certain point. Okay? And so I'm sitting there going, okay, so what do you mean? What's going on? So then all of a sudden out of the sky, I see these type of futuristic language just crashing down in front of me. And my sense of humor with them is, this is very like, what now? Because I'm not like, I want this. I'm like, what is this? So they push it down. And I'm like, they're like, this is the new contracts. New contract. I didn't have choice of the first one. When did I pick the second one? What does this mean? This means the contract here is done. The new contracts are starting. Just like they told me months ago, the guides that are around us, the ones that have been protecting us, sorry, my nose itches, they're switching out too. They're switching out too. Because things are changing. You got to look at that. When that happened, it was for this world. So we will go on. We'll go on from here. So it was really, how do you say, felt normal for them to say they are collecting us and know exactly where we're at, just in the time that they need us to know where we're at. And also, you will go back to your full capability, your full capacity to see everything. Not just the percentage like you would do in 3D, but full capability. Full capability. So I'm gonna go over this because you gotta understand, when I do this, I am not asking for it. Things always get thrown at me. I am the one person on this YouTube that does not care nor look at what's going on in 3D. I stay on my own agenda task for them. I am not worried about what's going on here anymore. That has no more power. If it did, I would definitely be saying something. But it's not my agenda. It's not my focus anymore. My focus is on 4D. I told you 3 weeks ago, we're not in 3D anymore. We are like in the middle stages. And so that is not where my soul's concern is anymore. I'm not worried about it. I'm not looking at that. I'm not focusing on that. And there is something to fear. Trust me, they show me. And if you've been in my groups, you could tell I do not care what's going on. Those are steps and measures that are being annihilated and completed. So this planet has to go into a hibernation stage. Why? I want you to look at the damage we've done. It has to recoup. It has to restart. It has to reseed. It has to heal. All of that. It's going to happen. So you're already starting to see certain people just can't find them. They disappear. You don't know where they're at. So you got to kind of look at this as what are real human beings and what are spiritual beings and what are seers and what are aliens, just in a different format. So looking at things as an individual situation, not what the media says. Because you guys know I'm all about documentation, follow the verification. Just like when they were talking about, what did I do with the book? What did I do with the notebook? Okay, so I did oh, it's right here. So funny. Remember, I drew this because they told me to, and this is the key opening. And that's our new world. As it starts to replant, revolve, and rejuvenate, these are the colors. This is an organic ship. Organic. Not that other word they keep using. But there's different things out there that I am not even mentioning that community. That's so bad right now. Anyway, so those are organic. So the thing is, there are components that we no longer need here. Our energy is changing. Our body is changing. But you're not paying attention to the fine detail of it. But here's your big sign. Here's your big sign is when you start to see spring, you'll start to see it in a different way. You'll start to see blossom in a different way. You'll start to see things grow in a different way. And nature and this planet is going to react a different way than you, because nature is not occupied. It has its own conscience and is developing and learning its own way. Sorry, my nose itches today. And so this writing I had to do, I was sitting there going, okay, maybe this will just be one or two things. And they're like, oh no, we're going to keep doing this for a while. You're setting stages of understanding, and we're going to give it to you more and more. So I'm going to start with the first 4 pages and then the drawing. Okay, so this is what they're saying that's always been divinely tracking the seers, the healers, the prophets, the shamans, the ones that were always registered to the soul and seeded into the human to come here to do the work. So when you're in the sun, these shimmer. There's not one color that they are. They are, this hair is driving me nuts. They are, if you look in the sun, you'll see it. And we think it's just like a normal flash, and it's gone. But if you look at the how the light goes in it and it shines out, they said these are the things that are following them. So in my group, I'm having them. I'm like, you take pictures, see if we can catch these, because I've always felt that anyway. But I wasn't concerned about exactly focused on it, the individual, what it looked like of this device. This device, right? This device. So they showed me very high up by the sun, or they'll come way low down, and you may think you just got a flare or a shot. And if you start to look at these, through them, you'll start to recognize them more. So our interpretation of what we're looking at is going to change because we're going back to our original form, which is our original form is like we're going to remember our family members, not our flesh and bone family members, but our original, God, I tell you, my nose is itchy today. Allergies are killing me. Our original for which we came. The original seeds for which we came. So the original planets for which we came. And to me, that's just pure light and crystallization and energy. So that is reconnecting, but allowing us to remember too. Remember our capability, remember how strong we are, remember what we're able to do completely. So with that, then I had to draw. See? Oh, there it is, hiding me. Let me go into this other thing. With that, they showed me this drawing. I had to draw these like in 30 minutes. So this is in the desert. I haven't looked for it on Google. It's always been there. This has always been connected to energy, frequency, and location. So I guess if you came close to it, it can make itself look like something else. It has its own energy frequency, but it's a desert area. It really is. Don't feel like it's in the States. So that's connected to that too. So I'm going to start to go over the writing. So I'm just going to go, this is all written, and the writing I downloaded. I think some people are going to go, this is so confusing. But everything's in riddles sometimes on purpose. Sometimes it's in riddles, so we can think and process it and analyze it more. So I'm gonna start with energy. So they're showing a cream light I see that can take over Mother Earth. So this is that cream light they show me. I'm gonna read it this way because it's gonna be easier instead of me looking down. A cream light that takes over Mother Earth. So this is a cream energy. Cream, it's cream. It's a cream with light around it. So if you're going to think it might be fog, and it's not. A calmness will come to the memory of the chosen ones. So our memory of the chosen ones before we were seated, our memory is going to be front and center. So remember, you're not going through some crisis. You're just remembering stuff from a different time, and it's coming together and piecing together. So, that hum vibration will take over. There's a humness, and I am hearing it all the time now, but it's not. And then a light energy will start, the head area, and then in the body. So there's just like just this constant sound, but it's a soothing sound. Clouds will become closer on Earth, form here. You will see the cities within the skies. And then a solid sound will come from the skies, just a solid vibration sound. You're going to hear it. Will stay above us. The higher beings you will hear in your head. See, we are going to hear that. It's almost this is a knowing with vibration and sound. The true voice. The true voice. The true voice. The pure voice. Nature has its own voice. We'll start to hear that. Now, let's go to an area that I keep talking about is the Holy Land will open up its crust. The rivers will become red for days. And this is freaking you out, but don't be freaked out by this. Don't be freaked out by this, because it's a lesson of knowledge and knowing. We have to allow the blood of the Spirit to run through the rivers for all to see the pain that man has created to the young souls. You cannot turn your back to this. The damage must be seen. We must feel and know where they go from here. Then the earth will shake its core of energy that has built it up in it, has built it up. We must be in the mourning for the lives that we're suffering, detoxing the pain from our own flesh and bone. We must watch nature regrow itself again and hear the animals cry for the planet. It must turn back to light again. See, we're going to be a witness to that if you are paying attention and looking for these things. So it's a part of a cleanse. It's part of seeing the truth. It's part of enlightening you to see the truth to all. Storm will cleanse, must come from the ground and will be melted. So this was weird because this black soot type of energy, it's like steam that arises and goes up higher and turns to this reddish core. So I am telling you exactly the way I'm getting it. I am not interpreting it any other way except the way they downloaded it. Okay, hold on. Sea must come from the earth, the core to change. Cities must be built above for our future years of change. Buildings must be burned that are toxic. Were built on demon seed. Our species of powerful creators must be set free. So they're showing me these unusual beings, creatures that are not of a negative sense, but have been tied down to earth for a long time. And those will be set free. And I think they were afraid of the intelligence of it, the power that it has, but because it was for humanity. They'll be set free under the Holy Land. Animals will become free forever. The light of all will come. The crystal cities that will be seen here for us. Man and spirit will sleep with nature as one. And what that means to me, you take man's conscience that's changing, and animals and beings are changing, and we're coming together, mingling and living together as one. So there's not going to be a limitation on that situation, and these crystallized cities that are going to come not completely down on earth, but close enough. As we place in time, we have to head, as we place in time, it has to heal on its own. At this place in time has to heal on its own. We have to give it time to heal. We will leave it to repair. We will be called up one by one where we take our place. Just going through all of this. Sorry. You guys are going to ask a lot of questions after this, I know. So a lot of things have to happen. And then the children will learn, listen to this, will learn from above in the true way of understanding. They will run with animals again. Reprogramming will be instant. Replacing the vessel will start. Don't fear it. And don't fear anything from here out. So that's just part of this download. I want you to analyze what it means. It's not a fear process whatsoever. And if you've been working in this and enlightened in this, you'll understand those words of enlightenment, words of futuristic time that's coming. We're changing. We're evolving. We're going into a new pattern of energy. So those are just 4 pages. I've got more to go because they're going to explain a lot more stuff. And if you don't understand that, you can always send me a message or whatever. But I'm going to keep going with this stuff. I got to tell you, I am not concerned with this planet. Not. We're at the end of the beginning and then a new beginning. So I just kind of want to come on there and go over this information. And I think I'll put the 2 pictures in the community on YouTube. And then I'll keep doing the downloads for the writing, because the next phase, I think, with this is they're going to describe a lot of the 4D interpretation. But I'm really curious about the full capability that we're going into. And they also said it is not your governors, it is not your senators that will be leading the new world. It will be the people that have already been chosen. Already, because the memory is going to come back. The understanding is going to come back. And then we're going to walk in that energy very easily. So, you guys know how to reach me. www.jennyssight.net. If you have any questions, give me a call. Or email would work, but this is what's going on. This is where my mind is. It's not on the stupid show that you're seeing. And even the stupider shows that I see on YouTube, it's just a rewind. Because they ain't got no information and they don't know where to get it. So they're just going to rewind. So one says one thing and then they all rewind the whole thing. So if you really want the information, get your ass up there and get it where it is. Instead of spinning the 3D. Just saying. Because it's getting old. So, you guys, pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to the energy. Pay attention to what's going on outside. Pay attention to animals. Listen to the vibration. Keep your eyes in the sky. God bless. Take care.